thing on YouTube I watch sometimes. It's called Ask Me Anything AMA. It's Reddit. They just take it, they put it on YouTube. Just play all the comments. I go on Reddit too. I'm a big guy on Quora. Love Quora. I want to talk about one of the stories I came across that I thought was interesting. What is the military's plan for a zombie outbreak? Reddit AMA. I find this kind of stuff interesting. You know, I've watched 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later, all that shit. I never liked, well, I do when I was a kid. I don't like zombie shit. I don't like trying to make survivalism fashionable. I don't like it. I think that survivalism is something serious. I think that it's something that is quite tragic. I'm a prepper. I'm more of a prepper now than I was before Trump. COVID showed me that I live and work around morons who do not value my life or my family's life or anything. And I understand that now. I work around morons, idiots. I mean, they don't care. You know, I understand.
Crash on
now.
PA 160 southbound 1 mile north of Robin Street. There is a traffic disruption.
I got this app, PA Turnpike. I love this thing. Sorry. To me, survivalism is a part of a crumbling society. There's nothing cute or fashionable about it. I'm living in an era of diminishing returns. And instead of people acknowledging this is what happens when capitalism begins to fail, I live around a bunch of jackasses and morons and Nazis that want to go back to the 80s and go back to the 50s, to an era that no longer exists. You know what I mean? They're living in fantasy is what I'm saying. I'm living in a world of diminishing returns. And as an adult, we've got to acknowledge that. We've got to acknowledging what that kind of world looks like. You understand? So for me, I don't put too much towards that. I don't like it. To me, I always knew we'd have a major pandemic at some point. I always knew it. Always knew it. That was, you know, they say you make a top 10 list. For me, it was climate change. No, for me, it was pandemic. And then it would be climate change, financial stuff. Yeah, those top 3 at least. You know, climate change, you get hotter summers, wetter winters, you get it. I knew a pandemic was going to happen, but I didn't know people would be this stupid. And I learned that, like, the institutions have to be hard with these rednecks because these are stiff-necked people, as the Bible says. These are stiff-necked people. You gotta enforce the mask because they're not gonna do what makes sense. They're not. I see guys wearing the mask on their chin, or they'll wear the mask and they'll get up, like they'll be at the you check in, they'll be right up on the people. And I'm like, dude, you wear the mask, you gotta stand back. I stand back, you know. No, if nobody does it, everybody just stands right up on the people. So you can't expect people to follow science, and you can't expect people to make good decisions. But you know, so for me, I always kind of knew a pandemic would be bad, especially in the South. I mean, you can't even get people to wear shoes and shirt when they go to the store. You know, where I'm going with it is this, though, man. Where I'm going with it is this. We live in a dumbed down society. A pandemic of a large proportion, such as 28 Days Later, some kind of zombie shit, it would probably be a lot more people starving and crime and violence. This is the scenario I had in my mind of a major pandemic, which would be a lot of people starving, a lot of people. Oh, they got to release people from the prisons. That's right. They let everybody out of prisons. Remember, a lot of these cities have trucks. So when the truckers stop driving, okay, you see, you have trucks bringing in the food and stuff. Everything's right on time, just on time delivery. So you'd have a lot of people starving, a lot of crime. You'd have a lot of gangs that pop up. You'd have a lot of violence, civil disorder. But you would also have, you would also have a government trying to flex its muscles to reassert authority. Because that's what government does. They've got to reassert it. They want to help, but they got to reassert authority, and so that it's going to be heavy-handed. It's got to be heavy-handed, and that's the world I see. Or I would have talked 5 years ago. I said the same thing to you. That's the world I see of a patient zero type, like on the Outer Limits. Nothing pretty, nothing fashionable about it. It's quite tragic, and I don't like the movies that try to make it cute. And, that would be sad. And the world economy is interlinked. That's what these nationalists don't understand. Is the world economy is interlinked. We're all connected. Nationalism does not work. It doesn't. I mean, my car was made in Canada. My clothes are made, this jacket was made in somewhere in Asia. You get what I'm trying to say? Nationalism does not work. I know it makes people feel good to, these damn Mexicans, different damn brown people. It makes them feel good, but that's not realistic. And the idea of trying to change the world around in 4 years was never going to happen. I just had to say that, that it bothers me that there's such a fashion around, because it's crazy. I've been a prepper for years. A lot of being a prepper is mindset. A lot of it is mindset. And I remember my dad said to me, "Oh, you want there to be a pandemic." He told me that shit. That shit hurt me, man. That shit hurt me because I was like, why? And now I understand that he says that to make himself feel better. I realized that. Because people like him, a disaster would wipe them out because of just the very way they live. You have to understand that. People like that make their money off of, going to basketball games and sports, entertainment. In a society where, like now, where you don't have a lot of that going on and things are in doubt and jeopardy, they don't make money. Those people, they expect the world to keep going. And they're threatened by anybody that's talking about, hey, there may be a rainy day one day. You know what I'm saying? Those people are threatened. And so they're threatened by me. I've had to learn that. It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. It's just you're living in a world of dumbed down people who are threatened by intellect. That's so like I said, it bothers me to try to make that fashionable. The crazies and all that kind of stuff. That bothers me. One thing I learned about survivalism, there's a lot of people on SSRI drugs, heavy dose, that you would never know. They work with you, go to school, and take a heavy dose of these drugs. And if you had a major disaster to where they couldn't get their drugs, that'd be a problem. That would be a real problem. Yes, it would. And so that's something else that I've learned just over the years. Survivalism. I don't think there's anything funny about it. It's sad. I mean, for me also, it's the fact that I will never trust the U.S. government ever again. Ever. To me, U.S. government is no better than a third world country. The way the government handled COVID it's an embarrassment. I'm embarrassed to be an American when I look at stuff like this. And I say that because of the power of the U.S. government and what Trump could have done off the get-go. That's what I'm trying to say. It's frustrating and it angers me. And it angers me more that more Americans don't get that. That we dropped the ball. We fucked up. We fucked up bad, man. And, so I just, anyway, thank you for listening.